Right, so here we are, finally back again, and welcome to the D's channel. I am fitting a 21mm marine ply floor in this little exercise today on a bathroom. In fact, this is the bathroom floor which I took out with all the rotten woodworm, and I'm now replacing it. And that little guy you see weaving around there in the background is my boy Alexander, or Sander as he likes to call himself. So he's on just kind of hanging around with me for a day, seeing what I do, getting a little bit of work experience, and hanging out with his dad, which is always a good thing. I've told him many times that the last thing I want to do today is drop through that floor, so we're being real careful. So I've pretty much discovered that I needed to notch out a little corner of this to miss a steel in the back of the wall. And power is downstairs, so I'm just going to get Alexander to throw me up a lead, and I'll whip this out with my multi-tool and a sharp blade. Like I said, this is marine grade ply. And guys, if you like the channel, then hit that like button. And if you really like the channel, then hit the subscribe. I really enjoy doing diverse videos. One of them, of course, is the how-to, because I do a lot of that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it's about sharing knowledge, really. And sometimes when you see somebody do something, you find, yeah, I could have a go at that. So I've got safety glasses on, and I most probably have earplugs in, because those are two types of things that I regularly wear, including gloves. It saves a lot of nicks and scratches and sore eyes and sore ears, so make sure you wear your PPE, because these blades go through skin real fast. So just going to drop that lead down through the joists. This house is built in something like 1700, so it's really old. Beautiful to work on, though. Yeah, so this is a bathroom. I've redone all the plastering and first fixed plumbing. The owner of the house is an electrician, so he's done all the electrics. We've put in new ventilation for the bathroom, and yeah, it's coming together nicely. Those two pipes you see there are radiator pipes, so they'll be running along the wall to an external radiator. Yeah, so that's that bit in. We'll get some screws out, and I got this new tool, and I'd always used a drill driver to put in tools, but there was an offer on a Makita set, And this video is not sponsored by Makita. So anyway, I got this impact driver, and it's the first time, I suppose, that I started using one. But my God, how it puts in screws is absolutely amazing. No effort whatsoever. And really light. So if you're doing a lot of work on your home, big DIY project, make sure you get the twin pack with the impact driver, because it really is that impressively good. And I have no idea why I never went out and bought one. I'm also going to be purchasing some cordless tools, because well, the wires are just starting to get me down now. After 15 years of owning corded tools with transformers, because here in the UK you get it's 240 volt off the socket, and you need to transform that down to 110 if you're a contractor working in people's houses. So just for ease, I'm drawing a line where the joists are so I can pop in screws. You don't have to do this, but I just find a couple of minutes drawing these lines and you're popping screws down nice and easy. You're always going to hit the joist. It's I find it quicker. You're not guessing anymore. Always check for wires going through your joists underneath, because sometimes pipes or wires are holes are drilled through your joist, and then the wire or the pipe is put through. They are supposed to be put in at a certain level, as in 60 mil or 2.5 inch down from the board, but that sometimes doesn't happen, so it's quite easy to hit a wire with a screw. Now on this particular floor, I am doing a double board, so this is the 21 mil, and then I'll be putting another 9 mil ply on top. And the reason I'm doing that is because it makes for a better bond between the two floors. And I'm just giving you kind of a sideways view on the whole floor, which is really nice. You don't normally get that in my videos. Anyway, we'll do the last cutout. There's Sander. Oh, the last few cutouts. I kind of like this first person view. It's quite helpful. Yeah. I think here I'm just bashing in screws at the moment. Yeah, I am. Sander is handing me one by one instead of me reaching into my pocket, and it's just something, you know, it's a nice thing to do, isn't it? Working together. I mean, it's like real life experience. You know, I mean, this kid's been in school all his life, classrooms, reading books, but you never quite get what the outside world is all about, and clients and customers, and he often asks me, "What were you doing this week?" I just go, "Yeah, working, doing a bathroom." But now he kind of knows. He kind of knows what's going on. And it's good for him to know. Yeah, big shout out to Xander. Well done, matey. I know you enjoyed yourself that day. We even went and had breakfast at Cafe G. Yeah, we went to Cafe G. I think he liked that bit the best. His favorite part. So the main thing is to do your screws about 300 millimeters distance as you run across the joist, and that way it will give you a solid foundation from the floor to the actual joist. And that's important, because the last kind of thing you want is any bounce, especially in a bathroom, because you've got trays and baths and pedestals and toilets and everything else sitting on this floor. And if there is any bounce or give, then, well, I guess what's going to happen is you're going to see lifting from the tray or the toilet or wash hand basin. And I am sorry that this video is a bit elongated with the screen, but it's important to show as well how much screwing in you need to do. Because I think some videos show stuff and then speed it up and skip it, and people don't get the right idea of actually how much work needs to go into it. So there you go. That's what this part is all about. Lots of bonding from one sheet onto the joists. And if this is done in the proper manner, proper length screws, I'm using 2.5 inch and they're self countersinking wood screws. These ones I get from a place called Screwfix in the UK. They're the turbo screws. I either use them or a German make called Spax, SPAX, and I just find them really good. Some cheaper screws, when you're trying to do a job like this, what happens is you will screw them in, and then the head will pop off because the shaft of the screw isn't quite strong enough. But I've never had a problem like that with these particular screws, so that's why I pay the extra few quid, and I know then that the job is right. It's kind of fundamental for me to know that if I'm going to spend money on materials, that the materials are going to stand up to the job I'm going to do, and then I'm not worried about it afterwards when I'm handing over to the customer. I'm not thinking, oh, is that board a bit loose, or have I got a squeak there, or has a head popped off a screw. And again, another good little piece of information here is when you're using the screw bit, you'll probably get one in the packet, but just chuck that away, because all it'll do is normally burr the heads. So get yourself a DeWalt impact kit, and that will stand you the test of time. I usually find that after you put in probably 1,000 screws that your bit will need changing, because it just starts to burr the edges. So here I'm doing my monkey trick, standing on joists and taking measurements. Of course, it's a big no-no, but hey, that's what you do when you're a lone contractor and a very small bald spot. Yeah, how did that happen? God. So marking out, I guarantee you on this I've measured twice, because I only want to cut once and I don't want to make any mistakes. So I will double check, triple check my measurements, and then I'll mark out. I'll make sure it looks right, because there's nothing worse than doing the wrong cut and then throwing away a piece of timber because you can't use it again. So one of your favorite tools in this kind of job has to be your measuring tape. I'm just making sure that the joists are clean. I think I found a nail or an old screw. So we'll pull them out with the hammer, and that way when I come up with the cut piece, I'm just going to pop down now and cut it. Alexander has the camera. He's going to go over the Great Divide. Good lad. Out into the sunshine. Well, I think there's a dog. I love that door. Sort of stable door. It's great. So anyway, we cut that piece and it's back up in position. Get it all marked out, screw it up. I'm saying something like, "Is it turned on, son?" Yeah, it is, Dad. And again, just marking these joists. See how I've left the last piece to cut as a small rectangular easy cut. So I've done the more complex one in the doorway, and now I'm just going to take the measurement for the last piece. I'll put a couple of screws in to make sure that the doorway piece is held in position before I take the measurement, and that way I'll get a nice tight fit for a piece. So there we are. Last bit of measuring. Get the tape out and measure twice, thrice even, Now you'll find me probably reaching out for a little bit of wood, which I'll mark all these little, I mean this is a small piece, isn't it? So you'd think, oh, I'll get downstairs, I'll remember that. But oh no. By the time you get downstairs, think 7 different thoughts. You'll suddenly forget, was that 38.1 or 38.3 or 38.7? So the trick is to write stuff down and send the helper back for the level. Good job, Sander. Back to that lovely door. Now we are into the sunshine, past the bath. Grab a piece of 21mm. You can see the 9mm ply all lined up there, ready to go. We'll do a very quick measurement. Mark out piece. Sander looking around. Saying something like, get the tools out. I have no idea what I was saying then. But hey. There we are, level. My trusty old jigsaw. Now, I know people have got lots of fancy tools. And you can see I'm on all these corded tools, so this is 110 volt, like I was saying earlier. And they really are a pain in the ass. But they do the job. They've done the job for like 15 years or so, maybe even 20. And I can't knock them for their ability of continuation in harsh work environments, but I really believe that corded tools are the way to go. They're so much easier to use. And instead of using sawhorses and everything else, I'm just using a pallet because, well, a pallet is 2 inch off the ground, maybe even 4 inch. It'll allow the blade to, well, not hit the earth or the deck while I'm cutting. Nice and solid. I'm just in for an easy life. In it to win it. Off we go. Let's do some more stairs. And Alexander is going to put the tools away for me, because there's always a possibility that, well, some people are just born opportunistic. This is going to be the last of the video. You can see that impact driver. It's even got a little LED light on it. Fabulous tool. Can't express how good that tool is. You can see it just zipping into screws left, right and center. Buzz, buzz, buzz. I'm actually now putting on the 9mm board. I've finished the last piece, and this is the 9mm board on top of the 21mm, and I'm doing it in a way so that it goes over all the other joints, and we got a full board. And again, I'm putting all the screws like 300mm centers from each other. These screws, again, they're the Spax or the Turbo Gold from Screwfix. And these would be the 35mm, because I've got 25, or I got 21, and I got another 10, no, yeah, 9mm board. So that's 30. So I'm using 30s or 35s just to pin the board through into the 21mm marine ply. Yeah, so these are the last couple of sheets. These have been cut, just rip that sticker off. Maybe I won't bother. It doesn't really matter. It don't matter. Mind over matter. I don't mind, and it don't matter. So, just shoving that into place. Again, I'll bend it up a bit. Put it under the pipes. Put it into place. Just have to lift that pipe a little bit. And I like to get things tight to the wall. Nice close joints. Looks neat. Feels good when you do that. And again, bash in a load of screws. Bish bash bosh. You can see that driver going mental. Again, 300mm distance. Job's a good one. I mean, I guess you could use... some people use nails on these, but I really think a screw does a much better job. Nails have a tendency of coming loose over time. Not that anything should, however. Let's go with the best technology we have. So yeah, we're pretty much coming close to the end of the video here. I really hope you guys have enjoyed it. Obviously I've put a lot of work into this, and it might give you an idea if you need to build a floor in any sort of environment, how to do it. You can of course get moisture resistant board which interlocks, but I've seen that stuff degrade over time, so I'm much happier using something like a marine grade ply. I swear by the stuff, especially when you're putting tiles down. Some people probably say, oh, you should have done a hardy backer on this, but you know, hardy backer's heavy. This is an old joist floor, so at least I know there's lots of strength in the marine ply. The customer was very happy. They certainly felt that I had done the right job and I planned the use of the right materials, which is really important. I mean, it's important that you use the right stuff and that your customer's happy and that they have faith in you for what your capabilities are. The worst thing you could possibly do is try and bullshit somebody, because that just takes everything away from what you're trying to do. Anyway, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great one.